This is a public service announcement brought to you by Talk Scottish Football.
If you have been involved in an accident that wasn't your fault, why claim against your own insurance policy? G4 Claims can provide you with a like-for-like replacement hire vehicle whilst your car is off the road.
Fantastic. Get
your car repaired at an approved body shop or a body shop of your choice. If your car is unfortunately written off, we will recover the cost of your pre-accident value and you will receive the hire vehicle while you're settled. If you suffer from any injuries, we can set you up with a compensation claim and all our services are free. We charge the fault of the insurance company for all of our services. We will never charge you or your insurance. Call us for any help and advice today. Not at fault claims, made easy.
Yeah, I don't drive, but that's phenomenal.
That is...
I'd be crashing my car fucking regularly if that was an offer. That's phenomenal.
Crash my car into the bridge.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Talk Scottish Football Podcast, episode number 67, live here from the G4 Podcast Studios, as we were last week, our first episode here. But David,
how class are G4, by the way?
It's your first episode here, mate. What's your first impression of the studio?
It's nice, I feel a wee bit, uncomfortable. You know, when you move an animal from far across the world into a zoo and it just hasn't settled yet. That's me. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Ah, well, do you know what? You're back to the Highlands, so
I'm like a
you're like a Highland coo.
Who's one to use that right off the bat?
No, look,
Shocking,
it's a big episode. I'm joined by David, as we've said. I'm joined by Div, Ryan McGinley on the other side. Ryan, this is actually your TSF debut, technically, in terms of the main podcast series. So, welcome along.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm buzzing to be here.
It's like the Lunatic is just now taking over the other show.
Taking over the asylum.
Yes. Well, look, we've got a lot to talk about today because the real football is back.
I'm so excited.
The real football is back, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely buzzing at the prospect of it. But before we get to the real football being back, there's one thing else that we have to talk about. Just one thing, very quickly, we have to talk about. It's coming home, innit?
You're not creative enough.
Well, that'll get copyrighted.
Football's coming home. In all seriousness, football.
I bought her away from Gina Pierce Morgan here and walking up.
I'd love that.
I knew you'd love that. I
would absolutely love that.
I need to do it. In all seriousness, though, we laughed at the start of the tournament when they played Scotland, and now they're a step away from being in the final. Very scary thought, David Buick.
Don't care.
You do care.
It's Talk Scottish Football, mate. It's not Talk Euros.
You do care, though.
Don't care.
About them winning the Euros. Dav, I know you want them to win the Euros, but...
Aye, definitely. I had my England boxers on. It's the Y-fronts now that I've got on. Tough game versus Denmark. I think they could get through that, but Italy for me are just too strong. Very, very good at football.
What I will say though, I genuinely just, not even just because England are doing well, I have no interest in the Euros just now, but I would love Denmark to win it though. That would be unbelievable. What a story that would be.
Cinderella story.
It would be fantastic, it'd be phenomenal. And I think they'll give England a game.
Yeah,
certainly more than Ukraine did. Deary fucking me. Within the piss the night before.
Well, Shevchenko is...
Why didn't he sub himself on? He couldn't have done any fucking worse.
I know.
He looks in good shape.
He does. He looks phenomenal.
And he's a man of all trades. Politician, actor, footballer, manager.
What are his political views? Any idea?
Not a clue. I'm going to assume leaning to the right. He strikes me as that kind of guy.
It's pretty mad there in that part of the world, isn't it?
Especially human rights are not their speciality.
Well, Vladimir Putin's in amongst it, I know, in Ukraine, so...
Well, that's controversial.
What the fuck's happened to the show since I've been away? Vladimir Putin.
On that note, though, McGinley, you're sitting there in the classic Juventus shirt.
Yes.
He is looking sexy this morning, isn't he?
Got Michel Platini on the go here.
You look like, you know who was in charge in the Italian World Cup when they won the World Cup 2006? What's his name again? Trapattoni.
Was it him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ended up the Republic of Ireland manager.
Anyway, no, it may have not been. Anyway, but you look at a cigarette in the mouth, World Cup trophy sitting in front of you. Are you backing the Italians then, I
really am. I'm trying to manifest it into reality, to be honest. I just want them to win the tournament. And
I'm wearing blue as well, so let's go with it.
And Italy-Denmark could be a perfect final for me.
Perfect final.
It would be a cracker.
Well, Forza Azzurri. But anyway, as David said, the real football's back. We're here to talk about Scottish football because the name of the podcast is Talk Scottish Football.
You know, that's why we picked the name.
That's why we picked the name. Yes, indeed. Hopefully, it's no coming home, and we can just go through the next few international tournaments with an actual desire to watch them rather than having to hear about England's run to the semi-finals. Celtic and Rangers have started their pre-season along with every other club, but the Rangers kicked off last night. You were taking on Partick Thistle at Firhill, and by all accounts, Partick Thistle gave it a good go. But the season's underway now, and it must be an exciting time for you as a Rangers fan.
That's it. 3 points on the board up the road. Tranmere on Saturday we go again. Let's continue this domestic dominance. All joking aside, put out the kids in the first half against Thistle. 0-0 it goes in. Tav missed a penalty in the second half as well. And then Big said the Ted.
Big said.
He gets the 3 points for the boys.
I seen somebody say on Twitter that it was the toughest Glasgow derby in 2 years. I thought that was quite a good true point.
To be fair, McCrory had to make some saves. Thistle put a good account of themselves on the part. Rangers played a lot of their youth players. Glenn Middleton got a run out. McCrory in goals. Lewis Mayo and such. But the one that I'd like to shine a light on is Stephen Kelly.
Always been a big fan of him on here, incidentally. Love him.
Great absolutely. He was at Ross County last season
before. Team,
he was at Ayr the year before.
I had him in my fantasy team at first, but it took me a wee bit of time to get into the team. But once he got into the team, ended up making 29 appearances for Ross County last season. He was a star man against Celtic at Parkhead when they put them out in the cup 2-1. So he put in some big performances last year. He's now 21 years of age, and he's a player at Rangers that I would like to see be in more squads, get more minutes, etc. But there is possibly the potential that he could maybe go to an English club next. I don't know about that, but I'd like to see him in the fold for this season. To be honest,
there are lots of decisions for Gerrard to make in the squad. There's loads of players like Stephen Kelly. Edmondson's another one. There's decisions to be made there with Katic coming back. Mayo, Kai Kennedy, guys like that. So it will be interesting to see what happens. I mentioned to Ryan when we came through, those kind of guys end up in and around the squad for pre-season while the first teamers are coming back. So over the next few weeks we'll see what happens with them. But I'm worried because Thistle were good last night and we've got them on Saturday and we've as usual, Dunfermline fans are moaning like fuck about everything. But apparently Thistle did well. So, but
that's the beauty of this pre-season. And Ryan, we touched on this the Celtic Thunder the other day in relation to Celtic, but the beauty of this pre-season now is there's a lot of players who have been exciting over the past year and they're getting a chance to maybe show us something in a season where they might be able to do a little bit more and they might be able to get more of a chance. A lot of teams might not go as far in the transfer windows as they like, and that goes for all the teams around the country. It is going to be an exciting time for youth players, and especially with the whole Brexit scenario and signing foreign players and all that. Now is a time for these young players to try and grab every opportunity.
But that song that you played at the start, man, you're all for Brexit, I take it?
Of course. Yeah. Brexit means breakfast. That's it for me. No, but Celtic as well, they kick off on Wednesday. They're taking on Sheffield Wednesday.
Wednesday.
It was a very quiet, a tame fucking rim shot there.
What?
That's what it's called.
Jeez,
it's called a rim shot.
Aye, fucking Jesus.
What's your thoughts on rim shots out of curiosity, Ryan? Do you for a rim shot?
Wouldn't knock one back, to be honest.
I prefer a swish to be.
You would be knocking it back.
Celtic kick off on Wednesday. We've got a couple of the younger guys who used to play for Sheffield Wednesday. Osaze Origide. We're having a debate last night how you pronounce it. Osaze Origide and Liam Shaw, both former Sheffield Wednesday players. Ange's first game though.
I know, I'm really buzzing. It seems as if we're doing to Sheffield Wednesday, but we were doing to Scottish teams over the past couple of years. We're weakening the opposition by taking their young players away from them for pre-season friendlies now. Mental. But Ange's first game, I'm absolutely buzzing to see how we do. I'm not expecting too much because we'll still be getting used to the whole formation, the new formation that'll be working and the way that he goes about his business. But how
do you think he will set up formation-wise?
There was a lot of talk in the press conference about a 4-3-3, so I think we'll probably see that.
Is this the start of the kind of Pep Barcelona revolution?
It's not really something Celtic have done 4-3-3 really.
No, it's not really.
Remember
did Rodgers not play a 4-3-3?
I was 4-2-3-1, didn't he?
4-2-3-1. It kind of could turn into a 4-3-3 with Sinclair and Forrest and like Dembele, I suppose.
Proper management 2 years
Proper
ago.
management. Things could change rather than Lennon going, flip the winger.
See, the interesting thing and the difference between the two sides at the moment, I think, is obviously Celtic have a Champions League qualifier coming up in 2 weeks' time. So how does Ange Postecoglou, sorry lads, I'll get there in the end.
Someday.
Where does Big Angie go with this? Does he start a strong team or does he get a lot of the youth players around? It's so weird because the players need to get up to speed because they've got Midtjylland and I know you were buzzing after getting Midtjylland, but I think that's the worst team Celtic could have.
I wouldn't say I was buzzing. I would say it was the one I ideally wanted out the three teams, but none of them were great.
If I was in your shoes, I'd have took Galatasaray because Midtjylland from set pieces are dangerous.
They were in Liverpool's Champions League group a couple of years ago. And they were pretty decent. Like,
Aye.
Brentford's feeder team as well, aren't they? Or their sort of associate team. That's where Brentford get a lot of their good players.
They do a lot of like long throws and such. Like at every opportunity they'll be trying to get it in the box. So
this is going to be a fucking disaster.
Listen, Shane Duffy's not playing. She'll be alright.
Well, long throws might probably the one thing that would suit his game. But I think with Postecoglou this is an interesting because I think he's very much going to be clean slate. I think there's going to be no fucking about who's fit, who's done well in training. Reputations are just gubbed. He won't give a shit about reputations.
Yeah, that was so very much.
I mean, Edwards obviously travelled to Wales with him, but I think if he's very much in the mindset of I'm leaving, I wouldn't surprise him if he just didn't play him.
Yeah, you've not been here on the show really since it all kind of happened. The last time you were really chipping in about the Celtic managerial situation was when Eddie Howe was told we were told he wasn't going to be the manager. So
some views on that live stream.
You've not really been here since. So this is really like a first impression for you, sort of experience here on the show. What's been your thoughts so far?
I'm really excited to see how he does. I think it'll be good. I think he is very much going to. He takes no shit. You saw that in the first media press conference, dearie me. Was it Chris McLaughlin he put in his place right from the start? Love that. So, yeah, I said it when it got announced. It's either going to be, I think it'll be either a completely unmitigated disaster or it will be sensational. I can't see a middle ground with him. It's just got that kind of feel to it. And again, how Yeti looks good, he looks trim. My thing with that is, though, why didn't he look trim last season? Because that's not down to Postecoglou. He was in there for a week. You didn't make him in shape for a week. Why didn't you do it last season?
Because when you're watching a manager taking snuffs and coming to work off cut,
it's just frustrating.
He's probably annoyed at Switzerland getting quite far in the Euros as well. The fact that he wasn't there.
But then, it just comes back to why didn't he push himself personally enough? But anyway, there's no point going over that again. But yeah, I'm interested to see how they do. The Champions League qualifier is a massive one because if they get beat in that and get beat badly like they have done in recent years, there is already going to be a negative atmosphere in the team heading into the season. It's the last thing he needs.
Yeah, we'll come on to the Champions League qualifiers next week or such before that kind of kicks off. Celtic, of course, before Rangers. So we'll move on a little bit past pre-season and on to the transfer side of things at the two top teams, and then of course you're buzzing to talk about the Betfred Cup and everything else, so we'll get on to that. Don't worry, we're not going to be just talking exclusively about Celtic and Rangers, but the big deals are coming in thick and fast. Lundstrom signed yesterday for Rangers Div. What's your take on that?
Before we come at Div, just quickly, they've gone from Zungu to Lundstrom and who was the other one? Stewart to Sakala.
16 goals in the
great business
Belgian league last season.
Just on the face of it.
If you look at it in the face of it, I've not seen Lundstrom play a lot. I've obviously known his name and I knew that he had a really good first season. He was one of the stars of that team as well. He was one of the star players in the Sheffield United team and then fell away in the second season syndrome.
Oh, they all did, didn't they?
And I tuned into a Sheffield United podcast last night to just kind of gather some intel on the man.
Aye.
And apparently he went in, he was disliked at first and then he became loved. And now, apparently, it's a wee bit like Marmite. Some of them are glad to see him go, some of them are glad to see him stay. But they did offer him numerous contracts. He did reject them, and ultimately he went to Rangers. And if you do look at it and just to face it, as David was saying, you're replacing, yes, it might not have the same importance. Lundstrom might come in, be more important to the squad than Zungu. But if you just look at it in the face, it's night and day, you know. It's a big improvement. You would like to think. I put on Twitter, you don't get any mugs that play 62 games in the Premier League. To which I was told, well, Shane Duffy and Joey Barton. But I do think context is key. It was like you said in an earlier show, David. If Shane Duffy goes out of the Kelly team,
he would do really, really well.
He'd do all right. But it's all about like how a certain player fits into the system. And Lundstrom is apparently a player who
is versatile.
He's versatile, but he's very much like the Rangers midfield. They're very workman-like. Yes, good technically, but they're workman-like, and that benefits Rangers in big games.
So my question to you is, now with signing Lundstrom and the link still being there with Veerman as well, it's Herenveen, isn't it? Veerman plays for Joey Veerman. With the links of that there, does that give you the kind of, do you think that maybe there's something in the offing about maybe Glenn Kamara leaving as this preparation, or do you think they're just purely adding to the depth at Rangers just now? Because to me it looks as though Kamara will be looked at from a number of teams. Of course
he will.
Aye, of course he will be getting looked at. I think it's a bit of both. I think Rangers will look to, they're not going to be comfortable, they're going to constantly want to improve this squad, and if Glenn Kamara does go, you've already got a guy in, not to fill his shoes, but you've already got a guy there ready, and you can maybe go and get somebody else off the back of that.
That's a really important point, because it's Rangers being proactive rather than reactive. You could wait until Kamara goes, then you've got 2 weeks of the transfer window shuts, you've got no players, which is something that Celtic would do.
Yeah,
then that's
a big thing that
that probably will change under Don Mackay, but it's something Celtic have been doing. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if Edouard had. They still haven't got. Edouard might leave this summer, and they still haven't replaced him. They should be replacing him now. Do you know what I mean?
The thing that annoys me is
Lee
that we've
Griffiths?
not been. The thing that annoys me, we've not been proactive in terms of his contract because he's only got a year left. He should have been given a deal last year.
It's like the Nisbet thing. If they wanted him, he should have been in already.
Yeah.
You know, because even if Edouard stays, you still want him. Do you know what I mean? So
It's just a bad habit.
and if Rangers do get Veerman, you end up with Veerman, Lundstrom, Davis, Aribo, who else? Hadji,
Scott
Arfield. You know, you've got numerous players.
Look at
Ryan
Ryan's
Jack.
look at Ryan's
Exactly.
face as he reads out the names.
Ryan Jack's kind of become the forgotten man as well because he'd been injured for so long.
of course.
But, yeah, they
The
can have
fact
brilliant
that
options.
CB Lundstrom as well, he's just turned 27 and Rangers have got him in a 3-year deal. I know I've seen people talk about this is a guy they've got him in a 3-year deal, he's here to stay. But if you're getting him in a 3 and he's still only 27, if he goes and has a really good couple of seasons, you could still get a fee off the back of that. So again, it's good business for Rangers all round. It's a free transfer at the end of
Also,
the
the
day.
reaction to this deal is almost as if it's like a guy coming to end. It's
To
felt
be the
like
main man.
Yeah, he's very much got the ability to come in and be a mainstay in that Rangers team. I think, and it's also maybe it's just because I've not been on Twitter much recently, but it came a little bit out of the blue to me. I hadn't heard an awful lot.
I heard a couple of bits and bobs.
Which
That
is
was maybe
done
gonna
very
happen,
quickly,
but then
wasn't it?
it's one of those ones you might just associate with. Oh, there's a free agent there. Maybe it'll happen. It's like Celtic getting linked with any other free agent.
It's been rumoured for ages too as well. I
Also,
remember that name.
they've obviously been watching our FM save because he was the first free
signed
contract
him,
signed
didn't
and made
Was
for
he,
Rangers.
aye?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's a popular one.
There's a guy that I just recently started following on Twitter. I'll read his out, Cascade Patrick, and he put up Lundstrom's shots and goals in the Premier League in the last couple of seasons. I think he gets 6 goals, but a lot of them came for kind of the left hand side where he's arriving maybe late into the box. There wasn't a goal
Who
further out
plays on
than
the
8
left of Rangers
yards.
midfield? Kamara normally, isn't it?
Glenn Kamara.
Yeah.
A lot of his shots were on that left hand side, so I'm assuming he plays more on that side. There was one interestingly though for like the left back position, like way behind the halfway line. Must have been playing Derby
Do
that
you
day.
remember in the first season he was in the Sheffield United team? Everyone had him in the fantasy football team because he was listed as a defender and he always played midfield.
Yep.
Everybody had him in their team and he got loads of points all the time because he was a defender and played midfield.
But did they get like clean sheet points and all that?
Yeah, so he was
that's a hack,
just an
innit?
absolute
Beast.
Yeah,
Just a beast.
it's not the word I was going to use, but we'll
No,
go for
just
it.
a beast. McGinley, Aaron Hickey, is it off?
No,
I've heard a couple of things saying that he doesn't want to move back to. No, is it definitely not? No.
I think it's happening.
Do you think it's happening?
Oh my
The
god!
reports
I've
that-
seen 2 sources
Yep.
saying that it was off.
Yep.
So I don't want to get too excited, but he's definitely a player that I would want at Celtic because he would walk into the first team.
I think
straight away.
the reasoning that was given is wrong. So it might be off, but it's not for the reason it was given. People
I
said he's
seen-
happy and settled. That's not true.
I seen.
Have you got any insider?
I've got a wee bit inside.
You
knowledge.
got in the know
I
here?
heard that
He's-
his
We've got him
girlfriend,
in the
his
know at the
girlfriend didn't
table.
move over. Didn't
He's not.
It was to do with his girlfriend.
He's
or
not.
something.
He wanted to come back, so it's either Bologna decided to keep him in there, just putting it out there as that's the reason. But,
see-
it wouldn't show up if you've turned up in like England now or something.
See
Maybe
if,
the Celtic
see
deal's
if
just off.
Bologna do want to keep him. Surely, like apparently, I was doing a wee bit of research last night, and is it La Nazione or something? It must be the papers there. They're reporting that Bologna want to keep him. So surely, just loan him out.
Well,
that
he's-
would make
he's-
more sense.
he's
But
gone
they're-
back.
Is he pushing for a permanent? But then there was also this same newspaper or whoever they are were reporting that Fiorentina could be interested
I seen that.
because
Oh,
their
Roma
left
as
back
well.
could be headed towards Roma after Spinazzola.
Well,
obviously
he's
done
got a
his
shoulder
cruciate.
injury just now, Hickey, and he was kept on. All the players left to go if they're post-season, and he was kept on at the club. He's also gone back early pre-season, so he was. I just it wouldn't shock me if he still moved. I just think that maybe the Celtic.
I
deal
need
might
to
be
ask
off.
you guys then, at 19, is Hickey coming in and is he going to improve that defence straight
Yeah,
off the bat? Is he
absolutely,
getting straight into that team?
I'll let Ryan go. Wax clinical.
He's better than Greg Taylor at this
Much
current
better.
moment in
I
time.
think
He's
so.
better than Taylor, he's better than Bolingoli, and I don't think we'd be paying $3 million for a guy not to play, to be honest. I don't think we're in that position anymore. I think he'd walk into the first team, to be perfectly honest.
Well,
And
So you-
improve the defence.
But we're also forgetting
I
how
think
good he
he's good
was
one-on-one
in a
as
shockingly
well.
bad Hearts team. Hearts were awful, and he was brilliant in that team. And that was at like 17. He was unbelievable, you know. And
And then you've got to take into the fact he's been training at a high level in this area.
this is a guy that's played against Ronaldo,
Yes.
so you know.
I was watching his defending one-on-one. He's brilliant. He doesn't rush into tackles as well. He's quite calculated with his tackling and that. He just looks a brilliant player. He looks better as well when he's playing for Bologna too. So.
Well, I mean, I'd love him through the door. It's about Celtic now try to conduct business, and we'll come on to the next player in a second, Kevin Nisbet.
I just want him to morph into a right back though, because I'm fed up having good left back.
It's about conducting
So
business
annoying.
in a better manner for Celtic now, and this is really Don Mackay's chance to kind of solidify himself as the businessman we all want him to be. He's got a couple of players to make that example with now, one being Aaron Hickey and hopefully the other being as the man that you said
if
you
we're
want
going to talk about good business
you
here,
want a lengthy...
we're not talking about Don Mackay,
You
we're
want a-
talking about Ross McCarthy and Feldman.
I thought you were going
We
to talk- I
signed
thought he was
Kevin
going to- I thought he
Nisbet.
was going to say Peter Lowe.
we signed Kevin Nisbet on a free transfer. He came in, played 3/4 of a season because it ended by COVID, scored 20 goals I think, sold him for about 300-400k and have a 30% sell-on. So if he goes for 4 million, Dunfermline will make 1.8 million plus the 400k, 2.2 million for a guy in a free transfer that played about 25 games.
That's what I was going to
That
say.
is one of the best bits of business in Scottish football history.
You're wanting a bidding war, aren't you?
Oh, we are just... when I heard last night it was Russian teams in, I'm thinking, holy shit.
Spartak Moscow and
2.2
Krasnodar.
million for a guy on a free transfer.
Get that Gazprom money.
For Dunfermline. Are
That
you
gives
having a
me-
laugh?
That gives me Gary O'Connor vibes. Remember when he went to Locomotive?
Our record transfer was Jackie McNamara to Celtic in the 90s, and it was about 700 something K, I think.
So your record transfer would be off the back of a
Would be
sell-on.
a sell-on.
That's big,
And it's like it's like 3 times our record transfer. That is, I mean, you've got new owners coming in who've invested heavily anyway. That will pay for a new training ground, a new youth academy. That for the terms I'm buzzing. I'm so excited for this to happen because now that these Russian, I said this in the chat the other night. If these Russian teams really want him, they can outbid Celtic every day.
Gazprom
They've got the money there. They'll also pay more wages. I know we're all saying that. Would you want to go? He might not get a choice. Because if they offer more money, Hibs are not going to say, "Oh, well, you can go to Celtic for less."
Exactly.
He won't have a choice. And plus, we all to succeed as a top footballer, you have to have a mentality that's different from "I don't want to leave my mates at home." And he's the type I think that would just go for it. Even for a year of the money, dearie me, he'd go for it.
See the biggest thing with Nisbet that I'm impressed with: 18 league goals, or 18 goals, last season for Hibs. He gets 2 against Celtic and 1 against Rangers in his debut season up in the big leagues, playing for a big team in Scotland. That's huge, and I think a lot of clubs look at that. Can you do it against the best teams in the league? And he did do it last
He's
season,
absolutely
especially
fearless
against
as well.
Celtic. He was very, very good.
And now, but in terms of Celtic situation, Ryan, I think you'll agree with me. I'm desperate to get in it. I don't know how much you agree with me to the extent, but I'm desperate for Nisbet to come through the door. For me, this is a situation that, obviously I'm not saying Celtic should go out and spend 8, 9, 10 million pounds on this, but if at 4 or 5 million pounds is the war that they want to go to, Celtic for me need to pay that money. If they want this striker, if they want somebody to come in and they want to have somebody in for these qualifiers coming up as well soon, they need to get the business done.
I mean, we paid 3 million for Turnbull, so we can pay 4 for Nisbet. It's the going rate for these
We
players.
paid
nowadays.
3.5 million for Clamara. We paid 5 million for Ayeti. We've paid
This guy knows where the
millions
goal
for
is.
Amido Balde, Timu Puki, all these
What
strikers.
was Greg Taylor? See, 3.5?
3
million quid.
Aye.
That's pretty mental when you think
We've
back on it.
paid money for players all around the world that have came in and flopped or whatever. We need to pay the money.
And that's the thing, there'll be no like acclimatisation at all. He'll just go straight in because he's used to it in Scotland. Whereas
He knows
if
half
ever
the
gets
team, I know.
aye, he's pals with half
Well,
the
did you
team
see
as
his
well.
Instagram story that got swiftly deleted?
I sent you that, didn't I?
Yeah.
The was it 3 clovers he put in or 3 shamrocks?
And it was the Bahoy
Is
as
he-
well.
Yeah.
The
the Bahoy. Is he a boyhood Celtic
Yeah.
fan?
Yes.
Because
And pals,
I never knew.
shout out to Stephen. All right, Stephen Boy.
Obviously, I knew he played for Partick Thistle.
Aye.
And
He'd
then
go to
he's-
Rangers though.
Aye, obviously, but
No doubt in
then
my mind
see
he'd go to
celebration against Celtic apart. He'd were equalised in the last minute. I'm like, what team's this guy supports? He loved it, didn't he? But obviously, he's at Hibs.
But
and
you
all.
can flip
But
that.
there was-
It'd be like that's like the come and get me Celtic. And look what I could
be
do
fair-
against you. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's the story in the Sir Alex Ferguson documentary. Obviously, grew up a Rangers fan. Dad was a Rangers fan. Wasn't he talking to his dad? Gets the opportunity by chance to play at Ibrox and goes and scores a hat trick, and his dad's
Aye.
buzzing off it.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? So you could, there is 2 ways of looking at it, as David says.
Yep.
To be fair, I would have been buzzing if I'd have scored against Celtic at that point because I just
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
Neil Lennon out by that point. So if I was,
You were
if I was
celebrating, weren't you?
not
I was celebrating.
but I was like, do you
I was
know,
celebrating the
please.
goal. I'm sitting down the Mourinho on my knees.
Because that was right in the middle of Dubai Gate as well when we get the 13 players out.
Just finally on him. I think Celtic could bring him in and he could be their main striker.
Thank
this
you.
season.
Thank
I think
you.
he's good enough.
I think he's good
That's-
enough too.
See,
He could be one of them.
There has been interest, people saying that Rangers are interested in him as well, and I think Gerrard spoke on it, said that he's admiring him, but apparently it doesn't look likely that Rangers will go for him, and I think that's the difference for Rangers and Celtic at the moment. He doesn't come in and start for Rangers, but he can come in and start for Celtic.
I don't think that. I think Celtic can sign better than Nisbet, and they shouldn't end their search for a striker at Nisbet. But there is no telling me he's not good enough to start for
And
Celtic.
from what I've heard, that Postecoglou likes his style of play and what he wants from his attacking players. I think Nisbet's perfect for it. And I've said it all along. There's not one attribute listen, obviously he's not world class. I'm not trying to say that or it's stupid, but there's not one attribute he doesn't have that you'd want from a striker. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he can hold it up, his link-up play is brilliant, and he can finish. And the best thing, he scores all sorts of goals. He'll score worldies, he'll score tap-ins at the back post, scores headers. And no matter what sort of team he's in, like when he was at Dunfermline, he had absolute shocking players around him. He'd pick the ball up from halfway and run 30 yards and twat it in the top corner, or he can score a goal at the back post from 2 yards out. He's got. I just think he'd be perfect for Celtic.
It's an absolute no-brainer.
There's a no-brainer. I'm getting cautious that we don't get enough
for
time.
For Scotland's sake as well. It would make honestly, if he goes to Celtic and becomes a main man, it'd be brilliant for us.
Yep. A couple more things, just very briefly. I'm not going to ask for too much opinion on it, but Celtic did complete the signing, of course, of Ousmane Oragide during last week. They also extended the contract of Lee Griffiths.
Hey, we take it. Give us a wee round of applause for TK.
A wee round of applause. Well done.
I'll cheer that enough.
Come on, the 18th month, road back to full fitness. Let's have it.
That's how I felt at 12 o'clock the other day.
And one more story that I want to talk about on the way of transfers is the Morelos leaving Rangers rumours. Porto are apparently the favourites to land Morelos if he leaves Rangers.
Won't happen.
But only for a fee of £13 million.
How long has he got in his contract?
2023 his contract is until.
Yep.
So it is. That's all good, Stefan. We'll just cut that camera off. Your card's full, Ryan.
Oh, is the card full? Is that my camera?
That's your camera, Ryan.
Always
comes prepared.
How cool does it feel to have someone behind the camera?
Shout out to Stefan again. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you.
Morelos' contract.
There's that ghost of 10 in a row back again. That's happened in the Celtic Thunder, right? We were just sitting talking, and halfway through, a ghost comes in. They ask for hot water.
My God.
So we decided it's the ghost of 10 in a row.
So Alfredo Morelos.
Alfredo Morelos, aye.
What you're saying is true. 13 million for me, that's nowhere near
Rangers
the
can
price.
Get 20.
Rangers should be demanding 20 million at least, and that would smash Porto's transfer record.
They will.
Porto historically are a buying club to sell on.
Yep.
Their record fee at the moment is 18 million for Oliver Torres for Atletico Madrid.
Nice.
Rangers should be wanting 20 million. That should be the starting bid. Do you know something I don't think has helped his stock is the fact he's went to the Copa America, and the gaffers obviously not having him. He's not been putting him in the squads. He's been in a couple of squads. He's came off the bench in one game, but
he's taking a lot of stick as well.
He's taking a lot of stick for no reason, mate. And I don't understand it because he's not had an opportunity to actually go and showcase what he can do. And Colombia need goals, so I don't really get it. I just don't think that the gaffers having him. If he went to the Copa America and had a big tournament or at least scored a couple of goals, that's adding more value to Alfredo Morelos, but still 20 million has got to be the starting bids for him. We can't be lowballing anymore. We just can't be in this league. 20 million or nothing, that's what I would be saying. But yeah, 13 million, that's ludicrous, isn't it? That's ridiculous.
It's really, really poor. Look, if he was playing in England, you'd be 30 straight away. Never mind anything else, it'd be 30 straight away.
I can't see him going anywhere.
Do you not think he'll go now?
Nah. I don't think. This time last year there was all the noise about him wanting to leave from his camp. There's nothing like that now.
Well, the noise is that he wants to stay because of Champions League.
Exactly.
There has apparently been suitors in England, Russia, Portugal, all this sort of stuff. But there's only
and
one
he absolutely
club.
Clearly loves it here as well.
Yeah, I believe there's only one club interested in him that have got Champions League next season, and that's Porto. So thus they are the front runners. Obviously, and I think that's big for Alfredo Morelos at this point in his career.
I don't see any world in which Rangers would allow Morelos to leave for less than at least 17, 18 million.
16 million was rejected for Lille last season, confirmed.
Yep.
What age is he now?
He's 20, just turned 25.
He's still really a long time. He's not. They always say footballers are at their peak between 26 and 28. He's not even at his peak yet.
I don't think that's true.
That's why
I hear the position as well.
Whatever they say,
28 to about 31, 32.
But anyway, it gets younger every year.
I couldn't. I could see him leaving. I could see this being his last season. I could very much see that being the case because if he goes and runs the Champions League this year, say they win the league again, it's not an awful lot more for him to do after that.
Yeah,
and he will want to leave eventually.
No, definitely he will. I just hope Rangers keep holding him as much as possible. The Champions League is going to be huge. If you qualify for the Champions League, that leaves him feeling a whole lot better and wanting to stay at the club. What was I going to say? From a business perspective, it might make sense for Rangers to sell him at this current moment in time. But from a footballing perspective, nah. No chance. And another thing is, I look at Porto again, and they signed a guy called Zé Luis from Spartak Moscow. Watched him play versus Rangers a few years ago. They signed him for 10 million. Alfredo Morelos is 2-3 times the player of this guy.
Look at the prices.
So fucking get the cash book out. Porto.
Just a final point in Morelos though, because he's obviously still Rangers' main man up front, but you know there was points last season where you saw what Kemar Roof can do, and if it wasn't for maybe the injuries he sustained throughout the season, you know if you get a fit Kemar Roof consistently throughout the season, it will be interesting to see. You know, just what Gerrard does, because I think Roof is more than capable of playing up top as well. And Gerrard does tends to always go one striker, Gerrard, so he will chop and change if Roof is fit.
Yeah, and Roof was the guy that had to veer out to the right hand side, and maybe that's just because he's more adaptable, he's technically better.
Because if you remember, like up to like October time, you know, Morelos wasn't. It took a while for him to really get going, and Roof started quite well, and then that kind of kick up the arse doing the world of good.
He looked unsettled to begin with because the legal bids came in. He didn't get the move, but things change quickly in football, and it now looks after the title win and possibly getting the Champions League that he's a better place. Morelos' stats so far at Rangers, just thought I'd throw them in there quickly to show how important, how good he has been at Rangers. 109 Prem games, 54 goals, 21 assists, 75 goal involvements.
He's going for 55.
In Europa League matches, right, which is not including qualifiers, he's got 11 goals and 24. And in all competitions, 94 goals, 43 assists, and 137 goal involvements in 182 games for Alfredo Morelos.
Fuck, he's alright.
So, and that was him playing in a poor team for 2 years or so. So, keep him.
Yep. Right, okay. On to the part of the show that David has been absolutely.
You make it. I don't know why we're acting as if this is like
talking about
this is like the Ramsden's Cup or something. This is the League Cup.
I know, but the real team's on the there yet. Yeah, I'm joking. Look, he's based.
Yes, there's some big teams in this as well.
Yeah, but listen,
Hearts, Motherwell, Dundee United.
Kick off on Friday night, and what a feeling it is just to have the domestic competition.
Hope you've got the fixtures up, because I
do have the fixtures up. So very quick, I'll let you just open it up about the Betfred Cup in a moment and talk about our favourites going into it and such.
Well, the fact
we kick off on Friday night, Edinburgh City take on Hamilton and Kelty Hearts take on Dundee United.
What a game that's going to be.
Very interesting game.
There's so many really interesting things, because Tam Court's new Dundee United manager is a former Kelty Hearts manager, so there's a really interesting wee thing to kick us off. The 9th of July, and we've got competitive football. It's utterly mental. And because we've had Scotland in a major tournament, we've not really had a break. It's been full on.
Yeah.
But I'm very much now back in club football mode, so I'm really, really excited for this weekend. Full round of fixtures. The Betfred Cup groups is one of the best things that they've done in terms of changing the game recently, because it's just phenomenal. You know, you've got all these fixtures early on. If you remember how boring the League Cup used to be, it was just the same as any other cup. Round 1, round 2, round 3, and it was just boring. But this is fantastic. Dunfermline every single year piss the groups. We are the kings of the group stages. I'm not so sure we will do this time. But
who did you draw in the second round last year again?
In the second round, we
Celtic
we beat Arbroath in the second round last year. And then we get beat on penalties by St Johnstone.
That's right. I will
watch quarters. My God,
we were penalty kicks away to the semi-final.
We were watching it in the flat, and he was.
No, they weren't. I was at home.
No, the one the penalties.
No.
What game was it? Penalties.
That was Morton in the Scottish Cup.
That was the Scottish Cup. Sorry, don't mean to put stuff in here.
It's alright. That's alright. So yeah, I just can't wait to get going. Get the fixtures up. Let's go through.
As I said, we've got Friday night. We kick off with Kelty Hearts Dundee United straight away. I mean,
so excited to see Kelty.
Very, very interesting, because of course Kelty Hearts are now an SPFL club. They're in League 2, so this is a kind of we're here and.
That's my pick of the bunch for the full weekend. Kelty Hearts versus Dundee United. That really is. Like, obviously Dundee United will go in massive favourites, but it's just some story. Kelty Hearts are up there. Kevin Thompson's the new manager. How will they do?
Joe Cardle, friend of the channel.
Exactly. Joe Cardle he's brought in. He's brought in Bert Jonas for Rangers. He's kept the Hoddy Austin up front, who's an absolute powerhouse.
Higginbotham as well.
Higginbotham, who
these are championship players. Yeah. Oh, you know, and this is that I keep saying to people last season. Kelty, I think, will win that league. You know, Easton's away, mate.
Is he?
Signed for Airdrie.
Oh, fair
anyway,
enough.
but they will win the league next year. I'm convinced, honestly convinced. Their squad is fantastic, and it's so weird just now, because we've always had Cove, Queen's Park, now Kelty, teams that are down there investing, really wanting to go far, and it is achievable if you've got the infrastructure, and that's going to be a really, really interesting game. I think that will probably be on the telly. I think it is. Obviously, it's obviously the Premier Sports Cup nowadays, which doesn't have the same ring to it as the Betfred Cup.
I forgot about that. The Premier Sports.
So it'll be on Premier Sports, but yeah, excited.
So. How are we going to work this? Are we going to run through and give a prediction for each game? Because we can't really talk about each game over Friday and Saturday, because there's a lot of games. We'll be here all night. So we're just going to run through what games we want to have a more in-depth chat about, give a wee prediction.
I'll just chuck in a bit of trivia that like I normally do.
Okay, right, Ryan, I'll let you kick us off. Dundee United or Kelty?
I really want Tam Coates to do well.
So do I.
I just feel like there's a lot of pressure on because he's not one of the usual people that gets that sort of job.
It's come from their discontent with the board, though. They think it's just a safe and cheap option, a bit like Neil Lennon going back to
it's a bit of a ballsy move from Dundee United. I like that they're backing him. I think they'll get off with a win.
Yeah, I think it'll be a draw.
Super
Joe will get the equaliser.
Oh, I think I'll stick with you. I'll go a draw.
Dundee
Aye.
United win for me. So we've got 2 Dundee United wins, 2
draws.
draws.
That's
Nice. The other game on Friday night to kick us off, Edinburgh City against Hamilton. Not as attractive.
I
but
think that's tasty and all,
It's
by the way.
tasty.
it's not
See,
as
I
attractive.
just
I
love
think
this
it's
stuff.
really. I
because-
think that's a good.
Exactly. It's
what
what I
do you
love about
like
Scottish
about
football. You
it
can
is-
make it attractive. No matter what game is on this weekend, I will find something to make it an attractive counter, and this is exactly the same. You've got Hamilton dropping down from the Premiership. How are they going to be prepared for a season in the
Yes.
Championship? Has the recruitment done well? Hakeem Adolphin talking about him leaving potentially today, big player for them. Will he play? Edinburgh City have always been a team down the road. I mean, they're pushing for promotion most years. They've been unlucky recently with who they've been up against, but normally a decent side. Can see goals in that game. Just excited.
I seen a stat about Hakeem Adolphin as well.
What
that
a
he
player,
was
by the way.
top of the leaderboard when it came to like ball recovery.
Oh,
and I
what
know
a
he's
player.
having to go and get it more at the likes of Hamilton, but he made a big impact for him last season.
Hibs rumoured
Big game.
to be
It's
getting
too
close
good
to
for the Championship.
Yeah, he's far too good for the Championship. He will tear it up. Hibs are going for him apparently. Great signing for Hibs if they can get him. Best thing is, can play centre half, right back, centre midfield.
Very versatile.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Very Gogic, but
I mean,
better.
That's what I was going
but
to say.
better.
It reminds me of Gogic in a way that, well, of course, coming from Hamilton, but with that versatility and such there, he can be...
He's much better on the ball than Gogic was though. But he's a powerhouse. So he's not tall, but he's quick, he's strong, and yeah. I think Hamilton will win incidentally.
Andy's got an eye for goal, and I'll go
Yes.
Hamilton as well.
Yeah, just Hamilton's striking options are
for a
leaving
draw.
a lot to be
You're going
desired.
for a draw. Edinburgh City to get something there, innit? I'm going to go for a Hamilton win as well. So we've got a draw, 3 Hamilton wins. Nice. On to the Saturday. Well, we have a full card of fixtures.
The
in-
watery farts.
The watery farts.
The jam
tarts. Saturday, of course, is the day before the Euros final, so we know what day has got the better football.
Obviously,
Saturday. Peterhead against Hearts. There you go. Start us off. Cy Ferry, is he still there?
He's still
cutting
kicking the
about?
ball,
Aye,
yeah.
still
I believe he's first team coach.
Yeah,
Ah.
player coach. Yeah,
really well.
It'll be Hearts, won't it?
That'll be Hearts.
Hearts, but there's a lot of pressure on Hearts as well because they did not end the season well.
They've
at all.
had a reasonable pre-season though. I think their recruitment's been okay. I said this a lot last season. The likes of Gary Mackay, Stephen, Liam Boyce, being back in the Premiership will probably suit them a little better. Mackay, Stephen especially. You know, playing the Championship and you're just getting kicked from pillar to post. It should suit him up there. You know, Nielsen's obviously got a lot to prove. Hearts will win the groups, I'd imagine, comfortably. But they'll be looking at this more as like their pre-season, if you know what I mean. This will be not about so much the results in these games. It'll be how are we looking for the league starting. That's all Hearts will be thinking about.
Do you remember the horror run they went on 3-4 years ago under Cathro?
Well, that was Dunfermline beat them in that group. We put them in that group that year. They were hopeless.
They were absolutely awful. I remember.
Ian Cathro, who's now the new Spurs assistant.
coach. Yep. Yeah.
It just
No,
goes to
it's
show
okay.
you
It's okay.
there's a big difference between a manager
Oh, it
and
is.
a coach. And I was actually seeing a wee bit of love for Ian Cathro.
Mate, his
in
pedigree is
terms of-
phenomenal.
He's a brilliant
no,
coach,
I
apparently.
don't mean in coaching, but I even seen Adam sticking up for him when it comes to management. But I thought it was just an absolute shit show.
Well, I think the thing with that is at the time it was an absolute shit show, but when you look at what's happened to Hearts since, it's a little bit like, well, it wasn't really his fault, was it? There's a lot more going on there.
a lot
Levine,
behind the
Budge,
scenes,
you know,
yep.
they're getting more of the blame.
Yep. Okay. Hearts, Peterhead. We're all
I've
Hearts.
missed talking about Scottish football. I love it.
Are we all Hearts then? Aye.
Aye.
We're all Hearts, aren't we?
All Hearts.
Um,
Only sing when you're fishing. sing when you're-
Airdrie against Annan. Take it away, David.
Oh,
because-
it's an enthralling tie on paper. Dylan Easton just signed for Airdrie, as I mentioned. Yeah, Airdrie will win that.
Airdrie.
Airdrie they'll be pushing for promotion this season as well. League One, obviously.
I'm going to tip them for relegation again.
Obviously came reasonably
Keep
close,
the bit up.
beating the playoff final by Morton. So they'll look to go again.
I can't wait till we do our episode, which will probably be in about 2 or 3 weeks' time, where we lay out our league tables and who we think will win each league, who we think will get relegated. Probably not start to finish, we'd be there all day, but just who we think will win this, that, next thing. We're just going to go with an Airdrie win. Is that what we all think?
Yeah.
Nah, it's got to be.
Okay, Airdrie
Just
win.
on Easton, oh my god, what a player he is, man.
Is Robert
Oh.
still there?
I think so. So I'm a little bit confused with this guy. Why is he playing at Airdrie if he's so fucking good?
I don't know. I don't understand. Apparently Celtic...
And
was
why don't
taking
Celtic just go and sign it? It's been about 18
Apparently-
months they've been linked with him. Just go and get him. It's not going to cost you very
him.
much.
I know, probably a few grand, you think.
I watched him against.
And probably, honestly, they'd probably be about 50, 100 grand.
I
or
watched him
something.
against Morton in that playoff final, right? And he was
20
absolutely woeful. But it was on a shocking pitch in a game where he's got kicked lumps out of. He will probably do it all right at a high level. There's a number of teams interested in him, but he's still.
When he was
still not
first
gone
linked with, when he first went to Airdrie, there was not like 22 teams that were looking at him, and somehow he went to Airdrie.
I don't even know how that happened.
I don't know, how does that come about?
Agents, fucking.
Henny Cars Arena, the
Maybe-
lights.
Do you know what I was trying to do last
The
night?
time capsule up the road.
You know what I was trying to do
That's
last
my-
night? That's embarrassing.
My area.
I searched up Nisbet's agent, mate, and I was trying to link them to different clubs, but I couldn't find who else they represent. Do you know what I mean? Might have gave us a wee lead on to where he's going to go, because agents, they're all reduced.
Well, you were,
They
searching
decide.
up, you were searching up different things to me last night.
Oh,
Anyway.
So let's not get into that.
Next game, you're looking at.
Hurry up.
What? Fucking hell, give me a minute. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to
You're
scroll.
degrading this podcast for your...
Keep my place. Cove Rangers, Stirling Albion. I'm going Cove.
Obviously.
Nice.
Go with Cove.
All 4 Cove.
Yes.
All 4 nods to Cove. Cool. Queen of the South against Queen's Park. That's a decent game, that.
That's a good one.
It's a cracking
That's
tie,
a good
actually.
game.
It's tasty.
Queen of the South, they have...
Is Dobie still playing?
No, he's retired.
Is he
mate.
done
He
now,
retired
right?
last season. If you get a chance, go and look at Queen's Park's Twitter page, because I don't know...
See, but so was Dobie playing last season?
Yeah, he retired
So I was
last
wondering
season.
if he retired or not. Okay.
Yeah, they posted a photo of a new signing with Managerial Johnson. It was taken on a Nokia 560. It was just blurry as fuck, and this is on their official Twitter page. I'm like, oh, what's going on there? Queens Park obviously newly promoted to League One.
Yes.
Just thinking about League One there. We've talked about Cove so far.
Yeah,
we've talked about Airdrie so far. Falkirk we're still to talk about, and Queens Park who have gone up again. Number of good players: Simon Murray, Louis Longridge, Peter Grant at the back. There's numerous good players there. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm going to go with Queen's Park for that. Why not?
Am I right in... I'm sure I've seen this. Maybe I dreamed it. Are Queen's Park playing at Broadwood?
No, they're playing at Firhill,
Firhill, is it?
which
Couldn't
Thistle
remember
fans
where it
are
was.
not happy about because
Yes.
it'll ruin their pitch.
I couldn't remember where it was, if it was Broadwood or Firhill. I knew it was worried to. Right, so I'm going to go Queen's Park.
Yeah, so did I.
I'm going to go Queen's Park.
So will I.
So will you?
Queen of the South.
Queen of the South.
Queen of the South, remember how badly they started last season? We all
know,
thought they were
aye.
doomed and they picked up.
Picked
The
up big
recruitment has been a bit patchy.
Home game as well.
Also
innit?
lost Obalai, Connor Shields, Dobie, big players have lost.
This is one I like the look of from the way we spoke about both teams at points last season. Montrose and Brora Rangers.
Oh, another team pushing Montrose League One, let me tell you.
Yes.
Stuart PG Power legend. Yeah, Brora, well, I mean, they did a number on the Jam Tarts last season, didn't they?
Yes.
Trying to think who's their manager just now? Can't even remember.
Big Billy.
Aye, big him from the Highlands. aye.
Definitely something like that. If you've seen their assistant manager,
I'm gonna go with
He loves it.
Montrose though, because nice badge as we've mentioned
Oh,
numerous
lovely
times on
badge.
this show before.
One of my favourite badges.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Montrose too.
Our manager is Stephen Mackay.
Big Stevie.
Stevie,
that's right. Aye.
Tip of the tongue.
Is he related to
Do
Stevie?
you remember?
Woods?
Do you remember their assistant manager bamming up Ewan Cameron on Twitter after they beat Hearts?
Aye.
Fucking brilliant, loved it.
So got 2 for his Montrose
Draw.
draw.
You're like a waiter.
I can't see.
for the soup.
That's 2 for the Montrose.
Oh,
Can I
minestrone and a bolognese.
I can't see beyond Montrose. They're
Aye.
big favourites, aren't they?
So is that 4 for Montrose? You say Montrose as well.
I was going to say Montrose,
You
but I
said
want to be
draw.
different.
Aye.
from the
You're
rest.
saying
I
this
don't
like
want
you're saying this like it really matters.
Aye. Do you want us to do? I think this year we should do a predictions league.
Oh, fuck
See who
that.
can get the most right in one.
Easy dub.
And then by the end of the year, whatever pundit
You know,
wins.
you know who'll win it? Adam will win it.
Aye.
His predictions are
You know who'll win
phenomenal.
it? Your mate, Damien.
Aye.
That's who'll
Damien
fucking
will
win it.
He was loving it.
Won pretty much all the who knows
Because he's going to
wins
win, and
pots.
he's probably going to win the sweepstakes.
And
as
he's
well.
got Spain and Italy in the sweepstake.
Yeah.
So see when you talk to Damien about football, does he know his stuff or is he just a lucky dick?
No, he's watching. Just a funny story because obviously I'm representing the Malaga FC today.
Aye.
We had a game on Saturday. Damien's my right hand man. Me and him were on the side making the subs the weekend, and you know
Putting your Kims on.
he wanted to put somebody else on, and I changed his mind, and I had him on toast.
Yeah, them
So
toast.
he doesn't know fuck all about football.
Does he know? No.
He'll watch this and clip it and put it in the football team group chat. I can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but we should do that. So we Tuesday we'll sit down and see who got the most right from this set of games, and we'll get a point. Then by the end of the year we'll see. We'll make up.
Are you going to be in charge of organising that?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine then.
Aye, 'cause you need to do
Because
fucking something.
this lazy dick turns up, talks for an hour, and that's all he does.
I know, but I do it brilliantly.
Debatable.
Some might say. Anyway, next game.
will find.
Cowden
I was
beef.
thinking that as well.
Cowden beef for Rave Rovers.
Oh, Fife Derby this weekend!
there you
Fucking
go.
brilliant. There's also another thing we haven't even mentioned yet. There's going to be fans at all of these games this
Oh
weekend.
fuck it! Well, we're going to come on to that next. I was going to talk about
Which is
the
just
fans
fantastic.
situation.
So I know fine well that Cowden Beef are selling tickets. Wraith Rovers fans can go to that game as well because they won't. I think you can get 1,000 in Fife. Where I think Glasgow and Edinburgh are only 500 just now.
Pish.
So yeah, but you
Shite.
can get up to 1,000 in
Pish.
Fife. So there'll be a decent crowd in at that. Fife Derby, Central Park, going to be interesting. Wraith obviously had a good season last year. We'll be looking to go again for the playoffs and maybe even the title they might be thinking of. And Wraith will win that comfortably.
Rave will win comfortably.
Yeah.
I agree.
Rafe.
Although some of their signings have been questionable. Christoph Berra, I'm interested to see how he'll do next season.
I'm just a lot of these. I'm guessing it as well. Obviously, Rafe will be big favourites, but I don't know who they brought in that. Sorry, David.
Yeah.
I need to do my research for
There's
that.
a
next
lot.
week.
Well, to be
I'll just get
fair,
screenshots.
there's
of
a
it.
lot of teams to research in the Betfred Cup. Let's be honest. So, who you going Rafe as well?
They've had Wraith for a big turnover. They've lost a load of good players.
Right, we've still got a number of games to try and fire through, so we're going to quick fire through the rest of these. Just give me your prediction. Let's see who can go through. Forfar against Ross County.
Ross County.
Ross County.
County.
Although they've just had a COVID breach, so
That is right. Well done, Ryan McGinley.
They're under 21, should beat Forfar.
You would think so.
Sorry,
Think so.
Forfar.
You'd think so.
I'm kidding.
Right, four for the county. Albion Rovers against Ayr. That's your local.
Yeah. Support your local team, you. Well, hold on a minute here. What is going on with Ayr United? Why are they morphing into green at Morton? What's that all about?
Stripes.
So they take their manager, then they bring in Jim Duffy, who's like the longest reigning Morton manager of the last 10 years, as the assistant, and then they go and sign Morton's goalie, then like 5 more of their outfield players. They're just turned into the most horrible club ever. So, and they're also switched their home kit to hoops like
That's what I'm
Morton.
saying, aye, hoops.
So
what is going on?
It's got to be 0-0 then.
If there was any club in the championship you wouldn't want to model yourself on, it'd be fucking Morton, would it not? No? Deary me. So it's going to be 3-0 there, yeah.
3-0 there. We all going Ayr there? Draw.
Ayr.
I would like a wee weekend to Ayr, to be honest.
They're in the races.
Doing the races, aye. Let's go. Stranraer against Greenock Morton.
5-0 Greenock Morton.
Fine.
This is going to continue into the season.
So it's just going to go.
Aye, I'm going to go Morton as well.
Still Stranraer make up for losing me a lot of money.
Stranraer in Scotland.
Did it?
So who was
Homie
saying?
and Jana.
Who was saying? Homie and Jana.
Morton, I'm saying.
Morton. 4 Mortons. Christ. Wee Morton.
4
Road.
Morton Rolls.
Right, 5 more games to go. Let's go. Elgin City against Arbroath.
Arbroath.
Arbroath. I'm going to go.
Incidentally, Arbroath got hammered off Livingston 4-0 last night, but I'm still
I'm going to
tipping.
go Elgin.
Draw.
Can I see beyond?
Dick Campbell's going to scallop your arse for that.
Aye.
And you will like
That's
it.
my one upset. I
You
had to pick
butchered
an
my
upset
big
somewhere.
dick fucking phrase there.
Your big dick.
Put your own big dick.
Ken, if you on?
Oh my God. Welcome
After
to Top
Dark.
Scottish Football After Dark. Right, so we went 3 Arbroaths in a draw, and I don't even know. I'll look back and watch. Right, Dumbarton St Mirren.
St Mirren Dumbarton have recruited really well this summer. Looking forward to seeing how they
Jim
do.
Goodwin's fucking St Mirren. They win about 3 or 4 here. I'm no disrespect to Dumbarton, but I'm bigging up St Mirren something rotten this season. That means they're going down.
Man.
I really like Wardrop as well, that plays for
Aye,
Dumbarton.
aye.
That player, what a player, by the way.
I've always
what
said,
a guy.
even when he was at Celtic,
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I said he was big future. Big
See
future.
his TikToks? Phenomenal.
Aye.
Okay.
Andy's coming on
I'd
the
love to talk
podcast.
to him. Is he?
Aye.
Catch
it back.
Woo!
So, obviously for that reason, Dumbarton. Wardrop hat-trick.
Well done, Patrick. I love the optimism. St Mirren 4-0.
St Mirren does for me.
Brechin against Livingston.
Livingston.
Oh,
Get him down.
They're down now, but get them down again. I want them in like the North Caledonian League. Fucking get them into the Highland
Start the
League.
Juniors League back up, put them in there.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see what happens with Brechin this year. Someone who was it signed for them the other day? David Cox signed for them. Glad to see him back in football. To be fair, delighted. That was a good bit of news. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. They'll obviously be hoping they come straight back up because it can be a slog otherwise. But yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to get hammered at the weekend though.
Hot take: Martindale get sacked this season.
Ooh, that's very hot take.
Oh, I don't see
Can
that
I just flip this because I was thinking this up until about a few weeks ago, and I started to look at Livy's squad. I'm impressed with their signings. Bruce Anderson will score loads of goals for them. I'm really excited to see how he does. Scored last night.
Bruce Anderson.
Big
ends the
Obalai
season
from Queen of the
on
South
2
came in.
goals.
He will do well. Well, look, he scored goals for Hamilton last season.
I know he did.
He scored goals everywhere he's gone, pretty much. Yeah, he'll be a good player.
Hot take from McGinley. You think Martindale will be going this year?
Yep, I think the honeymoon period
Sacked.
is over.
It was over a long time ago,
Sacked
wasn't
his
it?
manager or sacked for Livy? I just don't see him going for Livy.
No,
Even if he
Probably
goes down
maybe-
for manager, he'll move into another role.
Maybe
The
a
water
step
boy.
up. Aye.
Step up. Get upstairs.
When we do our season prediction, it'll be interesting. But we were talking about this in the car. I can't see us favourite to get relegated from the Premiership this season.
Aye, we all talk about it in the way here. But
Normally there's like 3 or 4 teams you think are in trouble. I don't really see.
telling you,
It's a
there's
struggle,
one.
isn't it?
There's one in my head.
Who?
I'm not going to say it yet. No, going to say it yet. Got to wait and see what the
And
business is like
he's
for the
very,
next
very
couple of
wrong
weeks.
with what he told me, and he's very
No,
wrong.
I'm. Look, listen.
Eldry.
Right, we'll move
far
on.
away.
We'll come to that in a week or two.
Okay, final 2 games.
Leave that till last.
East Kilbride against Kilmarnock.
The Ayrshire Kelly boys probably.
Yeah, it's got to be surely.
Yeah.
I mean, I rate East Kilbride and what they're doing there, but I mean,
Who plays for East Kilbride?
did they no sign Hingy last year? Paul Payton.
Did I?
Aye.
He doesn't play for
Kyle
them.
Hutton.
But he doesn't play for them anymore.
Kyle Hutton as well. He's still there. Kyle Hutton.
Oh, is that him that played for Aston Villa? I'm joking.
Yeah, Peyton's at Dumbarton.
Shite
now, so.
joke.
Go press the button.
Right, and we're all saying we're all who's at the
We are all Tommy Wright.
we're all Tommy Wright. Yeah.
It's got to be Kelly.
We're all Fraser Murray.
I'm certainly not Tommy Wright. And on to the final game of the fixtures.
For Hill for Thrills, baby.
For Hill, baby. It's Ian
It's just different,
McCall's
isn't it?
Partick Thistle against
Peter
Dunfermline
Grant's-
Athletic.
That's Peter Grant's Dunfermline Athletic.
Peter Grant's.
Pedro Grant's Dunfermline Athletic.
Eddie Howe's assistant
Pedro's
manager.
Eddie Howe spoiling.
He scuppered it all. That was that.
He ruined it all. You've
Once
got big
Peter-
hands now. It all worked out for the better, didn't it?
We'll see.
So yeah, really interesting game. I'm going to be in attendance, thankfully. So that will be good. Yeah, no, looking forward to it.
Peter Grant as well, very good guy. I'd love to have him on the podcast.
I'd love to have a sit-down chat with him. That would be very
love
interesting.
that.
If
That'd
only
be
I could
great.
make that happen.
I'd
somehow.
love to film that. Yeah.
It'd be great if you could film that.
He smells
you know?
great.
Yeah, great guy. Looking forward to it. But yeah, so Dunfermline Partick Thistle. I'm a little bit worried about this because Dunfermline have had an interesting pre-season. We looked like we were just going to forget to sign players for a while. And we've also got a few long-term injuries, which is knackering us. We've got about 2 centre midfielders in the whole club. We've got loads of strikers, though, so that's good. So, yeah.
Played him in Selmad.
Well, I'm so looking forward to this because there's a lot of talk about how Peter Grant's going to set up. He's obviously well known for his attacking football. Listen to Alloa, that's probably what cost them. In the end, they were a wee bit too attacking at times. But with a team that are chasing the title this season, it should work a bit better. We've got the strikers in form. Beck Todorov coming from Cali, done well. Kevin O'Hara scoring goals for fun. Good Cope Bridge boy, I'm sure. I think that's right. Is that not?
Kevin O'Hara.
I'm sure he's a Cope Bridge boy.
He's from Falkirk, but I used to go to the games with him.
That's how we know him.
Oh, good names.
So yeah, but then again, Thistle last night always did well. They've signed really, really well. And these two are apparently in a battle to get Kai Kennedy, so it'll be interesting to see who gets him. It'll probably be Thistle, I would imagine, with the Glasgow based and the fact that Rangers played them. I think Dunfermline will win because it's the first game of the season. I have to pick them, so let's just go with
Well,
it.
I don't want to spoil your mood, but last year I was a big believer in Ian McCall. When they went down, I backed him. I said Partick Thistle would win League One. Didn't look for a long time they would win League One, but they did win League One.
He went from everyone wanting him out to
Yes.
the hero in 7
I
games.
am a big fan of.
To a statue.
I'm a big fan of what they would call Jurgen Prop, and I am backing Partick Thistle to win this weekend.
I've not heard that in a while, but it's still brilliant, man.
Tim's face.
There goes getting him on as a guest.
I love the guy, love him, and I'm going to back him and Partick Thistle to win this weekend.
I'm going to go
Is that over the name?
Got to go for T-H-I.
Fuck off, the both of you.
T-L-E-R,
Red and yellow, what's he watching?
and if you...
Yeah, that's plenty.
I know.
Hey,
Move
McGinley.
on.
McGinley's in black and white stripes. He's got to do me a favour.
I'm going to go for a draw here.
Fuck off, boys. You know we win the league this year. He's missed that. Look at me, I'm hitting the table already. One episode in.
Last season, I said Dunfermline to win.
And I told
the
you that they were
championship.
not going to win the championship last season.
did.
This season, I am telling you they're going to win the championship. There you go. Hot take. Dunfermline win the championship next season.
Fucking hell, somebody said something.
Pedro Grant's Barmy Army. Here we go.
Nice. Well, that's it. That rounds up the Betfred Cup round of one fixtures.
Round of one.
Round of one fixtures.
Round one of
yes,
group
round
fixtures.
one of group fixtures. We've got a few more to go, obviously, and it'll be exciting to watch along the way. So we'll see who got the most games right.
So
come
fans
next
back,
week. So fans back. Big
9th
Boris.
of August, boy.
Well, let's
Big
talk
Boris.
about England first of all because Boris has came out.
Completely irrelevant.
He loves it, doesn't he?
Aye, no, but
Loves England.
it's just I'm going to.
Harry Kane scored. Harry Kane finally scored.
He scored. He finally scored.
Incidentally, captained
It
them.
was in the net, and it was out the net. It was in the net.
Right, let's move on.
It was a
Boris.
lovely blue kit. Boris has announced that there will be full stadiums in England come the start of the season. They will be there in Scotland. We don't have the exact clarification yet of what is going
That's
to happen.
because it's a different government that's in
And
charge
you would
of it.
hope
You know,
that-
people, I know people on Twitter don't
would-
understand that, but I
would-
thought you might
would-
understand
No,
it.
I understand it. I'm saying I'm just saying we don't have any clarification yet. God's sake. Because there's so many people are saying, oh, surely if
We
England are
have
doing
got
it, we're doing
clarification.
it.
Jason Leach said if the vaccine rollout goes as planned and stays on track,
But
there
we're
will be
waiting
full
on. We've got to
stadiums
wait
on the 9th of
We've got to
August.
wait on our great leader, Nicola Sturgeon.
Stood beside her.
Wow. I got my vaccine yesterday.
I got my second one yesterday.
I got my first
Feel
one
great.
last week, so delighted. It was so cool.
Is that your 5G going off?
Was anyone else just
Ask me a
absolutely?
question, mate. Honestly, I could fucking answer it quick as
What's the
anything.
square root of 574?
404 for high speed.
That sounds like Elon Musk's Wayne. EX fucking whatever.
What's the actual name? No, is it Ash or something? What
No,
is
it's
it?
AX12.
No, but how's it
43 or
pronounced? It says it's said like
Aye.
it's said like
Ash.
Ash or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
How you feeling
He's
after you?
he's going to the moon, though, isn't he?
Actually, do you know what? Spot on. Not one sound. My first jag for a couple of days, my arm was quite stiff. Second one, great.
Aye, fucking
Brilliant.
Mexican wave and all that.
Mexican.
Is it one of them tube men you see at a car dealership?
The black inflatable arm flailing tube men.
You mean Sasha
That's
Banks
one
is interesting,
thing.
okay?
Mexican wave should be banned for football stadiums. They are tin pot is eating.
I like Mexican waves.
Fuck off.
Oh,
No,
the
like
worst
no,
thing
no. I wouldn't
I've
do
ever seen.
not like Celtic Park, but when it's like Mexico.
Is it just a wave?
Are you talking about a
Is that how
fucking
they
flavour of crisps? Are you talking about a flavour of crisps or something?
Chili
there?
heat wave.
Oh no, like the Mexican heat wave, like no, like Mexican heat wave. What the fuck's a Mexican heat
I love
wave?
how when I try to talk about like a team in like League 2, you're like, hurry up, let's get a move on with this. But here we are fucking talking about Mexican waves.
Aye, but do you know watch like the World Cup and the
Aye, but that's tin pot. I hate it.
It's awful.
It's full of like
One of the
non-football
worst
fans
things ever.
with money
really
in the
bad
pocket.
when
You know what else I hate? Here's another hot take. I hate the stupid fucking clap thing.
What the Viking Club?
Oh, I hate
We all
it.
hate
I
the clap.
love the
Awful. I know what else. You know what else I hate
He
about
says
it?
I hate it. You say you love it.
Well, listen.
What a drink.
What a drink.
How could you get the clap?
What? Jesus Christ. We're just throwing out accusations about the clap.
Big clap, the Viking clap I'm talking about.
I should be so lucky.
Yeah.
I should move.
So
Is that
lucky,
Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Ange's
I
bird.
should be so
Lucky in
Oh, that's right. Aye,
What
big,
that?
big Ange's bird.
Hate that.
According to Keith Jackson, anyway.
Oh fuck.
And there's a reputable journalist if ever I heard one.
Aye. What is it? Morelos is just interested in Colombian things, and Big Ange is just
White
interested
lines,
in.
was it white
aye,
lines or
and
something?
Kylie Minogue, aye, brilliant. But in all seriousness, the prospect of us seeing full stadiums all around the country very soon is so
You're very
exciting.
overestimating what things are like pre-COVID because there's about 2 clubs in the whole country that have full stadiums, and even then, it's not fucking full most of the time.
Still,
Aye, is.
Aye, yeah, of course it
That's
is.
in one place anyway.
well, right. Listen. Anyway,
But yes, it will be amazing to see and hear fans back, and it's going to be interesting to see, certainly in the initial parts of the season where it looks, you would imagine it'll probably just be home fans, how that affects results and stuff. And I've said this for a long time throughout COVID, I think atmospheres will just pick up. I think it'll be great. I can't
I
wait
think with
to
so
go
many people just want to get into the game.
and just go mad for 90 minutes. I can't wait for it. Did you see the video Evan McFarlane put on Twitter, the Morton fan going mental at Queen of the South?
Aye, yeah.
I just can't wait for that to be me. I cannot wait to just be going fucking mental at a linesman. It's
I
just-
can't wait to be absolutely steaming at the first derby at Celtic Park, just having a time with it. You know,
until about the
Can't
10th
wait.
minute when
Do you
the
know
first
I miss?
goal goes
Do you know
in.
here? I'm going to miss the first derby of the season.
Out Leeds.
I'm at Leeds. I'll miss it.
It's embarrassing.
What's our
Well, I
priority?
I booked it
You'd
before.
cancel Leeds, wouldn't you?
I booked it before. I'll go to an Irish pub in Leeds or something. Watch it.
You're going to leave Leeds Festival to go and find an Irish pub.
Yes.
That's fine.
Right.
Barrio themes or something.
Mario Themes. Land you fee, Leeds. Right, Twitter questions. Have we got any?
No, because I never put a tweet up.
Oh.
I'm so out of practice. Someone should have reminded me.
So you've not got any Twitter
What about
questions?
Stefan questions?
Stefan question. Got any questions,
Any
Stefan?
questions, Stefan? Put him on the spot.
I've got one. Thoughts on Ange Postecoglou's karaoke night at Lennoxtown?
What is? So you put something in the chat. Is this real or are you making?
Obviously, I'm
this up?
talking about him being mic'd up.
Oh right.
You put
okay.
on Twitter. You love that content. I do. I
love the content,
I love the
but I
content.
don't love the reaction to
Let's-
it.
The reaction for me has just been a
wild.
wee bit OTT.
Oh, of course it has.
Let's just quickly before
He loved it.
because
I really
I'll
did.
end
It is
off.
phenomenal content and it's great to see. But people are talking about how that 3-minute clip makes him look like a revolutionary coach. Any amateur coach does the exact same thing.
Any boys club coach does the exact same thing.
No, sorry.
It's great
that-
content.
Sorry,
And I
sorry,
understand-
sorry
no.
that our last coach was an alcoholic
Well, listen,
snus taker.
I understand why it's
Wow.
good content, but there's nothing in that video that makes him look like a groundbreaking coach. I'm not saying he's not, but that video proves fuck all. It's good content.
It
It's
is
nice to see.
revolutionary compared to what we had before.
Well,
How
yes,
do you know what
maybe.
you had before though? Obviously, you know for the results, but
We don't know what it's like the training ground. Yeah,
Look,
good
you
point.
don't know what it's like
look
in the
at
training
what we had before.
because Neil Lennon can do nothing right in my eyes.
Oh, is that
my
what it is?
agenda will continue.
So because
can't believe you threw him under the bus, Lennon.
because
Wow.
Neil Francis, as he was referred
Do
to,
you know how
up until about October last
the
season.
reaction towards Lennon's been OTT, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I seen that. I seen that
There's
link.
Tom English in the corner here, bigging up his mate. What's this all about?
Seen that link.
No, but it's crazy, man. Fucking barriers and all that, wasn't it?
I love Big Ange.
Shockhead.
I love
So
Big
see how he's calling Barkas Barky. Are we now going to call it Parky?
Barky.
Because it was
Parky.
Barkers at Parkers, now is it Barky at Parky? Is that what's happening?
That's a good shout. That.
Yeah.
That's a good
Just
shout.
to annoy all the dads.
I'll say that. I like that.
But back to the mic stuff.
Yeah.
What was your overall reaction?
My overall reaction was nice content. It's nice
That's
to see.
phenomenal
We
content.
spoke about it in the Celtic Thunder and Sunday, and the way we were looking at it was, it's just great to see the club actually putting out content to engage with supporters.
I agree.
There was days last season where the club didn't tweet for 48 hours.
Unless they were wanting money off you.
Exactly. So it's good to see this positive.
Anything-
I would love
any-
to
And
see.
look, I'm not getting carried away from a club. Look, I like the attitude, I like the mentality we're seeing there. But I'm not going to get carried away and say we've got fucking the
Any behind the scene content at the training ground of the stadium is just phenomenal. It's great content.
I would
see
love
it.
to see a referee be mic'd up or something
Yeah.
like that in
Have
the
you seen the
SPFL.
Australian?
Yeah.
I've seen that. That's
Brilliant.
great.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Bowie Madden running about doing that?
What do they call him?
That Australian guy's doing
He's
the
got the
Premier
Prem.
League.
Yeah.
Which is mental.
Because I think he was supposed to go after that clip, but COVID knackered him, so he's finally going now, I think. But yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how he does.
Mad.
Yeah, excited.
Right.
Good content. And what was the final thing I was going to say about that?
What, and one question: if it was a karaoke night, what song is Ange Postecoglou singing?
I'd probably singing.
I should be so lucky, lucky,
Yeah, probably something by Kylie, he would have thought.
Down under, minute what?
Yeah,
Can you tell you, mate? I'm going to
Crowded house.
That's like saying a Scottish guy would sing 500
No,
miles.
but my serious answer, though, in all seriousness, would be we spoke about this very Sopranos-looking man, Don Postecoglou, is what I will now be referring to as him. So he's up and he's singing a wee bit of Dean Martin, the Little Old Wine Drinker Me by Dean Martin. That's what he's singing.
Oh, it was Sydney Devine.
Up
that
there
sang
with
that.
He's just whistling to the Godfather.
with the unbuttoned shirt, the chest hair hanging out, and his suit, his two-piece suit.
I can't wait for him to fall out with the media, though. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to. Because even if he does well, I think he'll fall out with the media, and I can't wait for it.
I've got a question.
There we go.
Came to my head there about Ange Postecoglou. If he doesn't get the results right, Celtic fans were wanting him letting him out by October. How long are you giving Ange Postecoglou?
September.
For me, it's a 2-year process.
The second leg of the first qualifier.
Just to clarify, because they might not have been picked up with the microphones. So, Stefan's posed a question to us. We wanted Lennon out by October after we were performing badly last season. How long would it be till Celtic fans would want Ange Postecoglou if things aren't?
It's going to flip, though, isn't it? So you're going to have the ones that wanted Lennon to stay will want Ange out, and the ones that wanted Ange to leave will want Ange out.
Absolutely.
It's going to just flip on its head.
Absolutely.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Well, the way I look at it is this season's about improving. If we improve and we're doing the things to go in the right direction.
He needs to improve substantially, though.
Yes,
He needs
but it can't get worse than 25 points behind Rangers.
Well,
it
can, because Rangers can get better.
How can it get better?
Of course they can get better.
In the cups.
But they weren't undefeated.
I know.
Cups.
But in the Cups, exactly. But
Rangers aren't going to have a league campaign like that again.
probably not, no. But they could win 2 Cups this year.
But they could, yes. They could. But I think
Then regardless of what Ange does, if Rangers win a treble, you're
if
knackered.
Ange is showing decent progress in the league towards sustaining a decent challenge to a late stage in the season, that for me...
How many points?
Any more than 10 and I think he's in trouble.
Yeah, we shouldn't be any more than 10 points behind Rangers.
I think he's in
we should
trouble.
never be.
Single digits.
Absolutely.
I would say. But
I think so.
I don't think. I think,
When you think about
we are in a way, and I'm worried that maybe some Celtic fans are overestimating. I don't know. I don't even know how
What
it
are
works.
they
But how far you are behind?
If Celtic
is that what
finish
you're saying?
15 points behind Rangers and win the League Cup and get to the
I feel
Champions
like
League group
I
stages,
don't,
I think
don't
that's
feel
a
like
decent
Celtic
season.
are in a position again where a
From where they
lot
were.
of fans are still worried that we could be 20. I don't think we're a team that's going to be 25
We've got to
points
be-
behind Rangers again.
I don't
First
know
of
either.
all, we've got to beat the
I
other
don't think
teams
so.
around us as well as Rangers. I mean, if we do that, then we'll be closer because, I mean, look at some of the results we had. Look, Livingston dropping points against Livingston, St Johnstone,
Yeah.
etc., etc. If we beat those teams, which we should be doing, like that's just bread and butter for us. We should be closer automatically.
Yep, absolutely. Any final thoughts before we move on to the quiz?
Last one.
Go.
Last
Billy
last
Gilmour's Maw.
topic. Billy Gilmour's Maw.
Oh yes.
Fair play
And
to her.
the list of things that she doesn't like.
Okay. Brought to you by...
Kermit the Frog. Salt and vinegar walkers. Tommy Sheridan slippers.
and his house coat.
All joking aside, there's been overreaction
Oh
in this.
Jesus Christ.
Fair play to her. Bit of crack.
For
I
me,
love it.
she's standing.
Bit of crack?
She's standing. Well,
Is that too much of a chicken phrase for you lot?
No, it's
no,
true.
she's standing 2 yards away from
I like
a Celtic supporting husband.
Yes.
And apparently now she's sectarian and bigoted according to some people on Twitter.
They've never been together. The
The
mums
thing
have.
is, though, if you look at
was
the,
that a
if you
myth?
look
Teaches
at,
in a Catholic school, hates Catholics,
If you look-
quite obviously.
if you look at the overwhelming, if you look at 95% of the people who have been sharing that opinion, they're the same people who thought Neil Lennon was actually God. These people's
Knows
opinions
the city, doesn't he? So
can only be taken so far and so much with a pinch of salt. It's embarrassing.
And
They're all
if
of a
they
certain-
ever been involved in any sort of banter ever, with opposition fans.
And can we quickly transition into talking about him really quickly? Because the move was obviously one that when it first came to mind, I thought that's not a great move for him. But I am now more and more excited about how I think it's a brilliant move for him.
Very
First of all,
move.
Norwich like to play good football. Daniel Farke and Thomas Tuchel are best pals. Daniel Farke was like the only one at Dortmund that didn't fall out with Tuchel.
That's
before he
right.
left.
Yep.
So there'll be an agreement there that he plays games. And listen, the one thing that he is going to have to get better at, I suppose, is that he'll have to know what it's like to be in a team that's getting beat regularly, and that's a strength of character.
I will still he could not have came on loan to Rangers. If he went on loan to Rangers, it would have been one of the worst. He needs to stay in the Premier League. He needs to play at the top level.
I agree.
He is too good. Well, look, if Celtic, I would obviously want him at Celtic, but if I was looking at it from a completely neutral point of view, coming to the Scottish Premiership is the worst possible move for Billy Gilmour. Not worst possible, obviously there's worst possible, but he needs to stay in the Premier League.
I thought the only way you get Billy Gilmour Rangers if you're in the Champions League, that's the only way.
Season too late.
Even at that, though,
when I seen
you can't be a player of his quality can't be playing against
handled thumbs and pressure, he winning. That's what he's going to have at Chelsea. He's not going to have that at Norwich. But when I first seen it was going to be Norwich, I was like, top 10 at least, or go to a foreign league and play for a top team. This is a guy that could go and play. He could go to PSG, he could go to your Benficas or these sort of teams. He could go to Borussia Dortmund, the whole lot.
I love how Benfica was one of the first ones. I like that.
I'm just thinking of other leagues where I think he could go do well. He could go to the leagues, but when you look at it, as you say, his mate, Tuchel's mates with Farke, they're going to be playing good football. He's going to play all the games. He's going to be playing in the Premier League. It does make sense to a certain extent, and I hope he hits the ground running. To get the best possible player at him, see for a player with so much ability, and he's really had to work hard to get where he's got. He's not got the best luck. He just gets out of Scotland team, COVID. He just gets into the Chelsea team, fucking long-term injury.
Doesn't phase
for
him,
a young lad away from home. He's been doing this. He's 15 years of age.
I think his mentality is the most impressive thing about the boy. Nothing phases him, no matter what scenario. Listen, his first cap for Scotland is against England at Wembley in a major tournament, and he's man of the match. It's just phenomenal, and nothing phases him. And it'll be the same again at Norwich. You'll probably see different sides to this game. He probably won't. He's not going to play the team that's probably going to dominate the ball for most of the time.
He's got Kenny McLean there as well,
but
help him out,
and Big Grant Hanley, obviously,
and Big Grant.
Just how good is it going to be for Scotland with him playing every week? We know how good he is anyway, but having him match fit, sharp, playing every week, it's just going to be brilliant.
Okay. It's time to move on to the final portion of the show, ladies and gentlemen. And cue our new theme song. You gotta love it, innit? This was British television at its absolute peak back in the day. You've got to love it. It's time for the Talk Scottish Football Quiz, ladies and gentlemen. Well, love it.
Let's hope we don't get copyrighted.
Very much.
The fucking song.
I hope we don't. I hope we don't get copyrighted.
Well, we're going to get copyrighted for the first minute when you played that.
No, because
song
usually you avoid it if you only play like 20 seconds or something, or 15 seconds.
No coughing in the studio, remember, guys?
Yeah, so
no coughing. No coughing. What a tale that is, eh? The Major.
It was a great wee drama as well.
Who was it that played him again? In the
Sheen.
That's it. Yep, it was him.
Who's Charlie?
No Charlie. Charlie, you say.
Major.
We need to stop this.
Right. Okay. Right. It's time for the quiz, and because
I just got what you said there.
I'm involved in the quiz this week. I'm putting my foot down.
Winning.
And I like to get very personal with the quiz. David, you're going to be playing this week because you're back. You're returning, and do you know what? On that note, I'm going to let you pick your opponent.
Oh,
so I'm going to let you
choose. What's the theme of the quiz?
Just generous.
Well, I'm going to go with McGinley because I've played David at the quiz so many times.
Right, okay. Right, that's fine.
And beat him so many times.
That's fine. That's okay.
Talk shite. Is this talk shite football now?
Talk shite football.
Well,
so it's going to be David, it's going to be McGinley. If they don't get the question right, I'll let Div get the first chance of answering it, see if he knows his
Let's
knowledge.
see if I can beat them after bonus. If I can get
no, you get the chance
bonus.
You get a chance to answer 10, they only get 5 each. But combined, sleep for me.
I'll play myself.
Right, okay.
Play yourself in the corner.
David, since you are back, I'll let you choose as well.
I'll go first.
He likes it. He's establishing his mentality.
That's what I done last week.
Okay,
ended well.
Right. You can stare him in the eyes the whole time.
And you've got an easy start, but let's see if you get it anyway. Okay, question number
2-1 Hubs. Have you seen that video?
I think that is his answer.
That's it. Too late. I started. Anyway, who was the only goal scorer in Monday's friendly between Rangers and Partick Thistle?
Said Ted Eaton.
That is correct. 1-0 to Mr. Buick.
I'm getting a point for that as well.
I knew it.
Did you know that?
I knew it anyway.
Question number 2. Oh, sorry, 1 for you, Ryan. The SPFL Ladbrokes Premiership will change to what?
Cinch.
That is correct.
Can't wait to see Big Ryland present the trophy at the end of the
Premiership.
season.
Nice. That'll be brilliant.
Is this a very easy quiz? Because it feels like it.
They make it harder as it goes on.
That's good.
We'll wait and see. Question number 2 for you, David. BSC Glasgow, who have now changed, actually. They've changed. So they were formerly known as BSC Glasgow, but traditionally wore which 2 colours?
What, as in like for their home and away?
What you were going to say about is the name
What's
of
the
the
name
club?
change?
Because obviously they've changed to
blue and yellow. Blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow's correct.
2 points for me.
I would have said
Shout out,
Is 3 for me?
shout out to Moza, who's an ambassador.
Moza, yes, that's how I seen about the sorry, where is it they moved to again? What's her name?
I don't know where they've moved to, but they've changed to Broomhill.
That's the name of the team.
Broomhill FC.
Broomhill FC, yes. Okay, question 2 for you, Ryan. Lynx Park is home to which Scottish League One side?
Easy peasy, mate.
I asked this question before.
Easy peasy. So it's embarrassing that a member of this show can't get this sort of stuff right, to be
jeez.
perfectly honest.
I actually embarrassed myself in another podcast with stadium names, and I'm usually quite good at them.
Until it becomes less.
Montrose.
Oh, well done.
Well done.
Is that right?
Well done. Correct.
Was that a guess?
I'm happy for you, mate. I'm actually happy about that.
There you go.
I thought it was Hibs.
Question 3 for you, Mr. Buick. Ex-Hibs player Jackson Irvine
Yep.
has recently
St.
signed
Pauli.
Oh my god.
FC St. Pauli, yes.
I've got 6 points.
That's such a hipster move, but I love it.
I love it.
He is just a big hipster though, isn't he?
Yes. Right, okay. Question 3 for you, Ryan. Ayrshire boy Billy Gilmour recently signed on loan to which Premier League club?
You said they make them more difficult. We've literally just done a
Matthew Duff
segment.
made the quiz.
We've just done a
Right.
segment talking about this.
Well done,
Oh,
Matthew.
man, it's embarrassing, Matthew, sorry.
He moved to Norwich.
Yeah, that's a decent
No,
quiz.
it's not even embarrassing for Matthew. It's embarrassing for you lot for being so bad last week that he had to make the quiz this easy.
Mate, I was good last week.
Well, sorry, I'm
2
just
out of 10.
Well, listen,
2
don't
out
look
of
at,
5 and about
don't look
3
at me.
calories.
I am the fucking.
Right, let's get moving
I'm the
on.
host,
Who's next?
right? Okay, question 4. It's 3-all. It's good. It's good anyway. We're at a tie just now. Question 4. What did Andy Considine compare himself to?
Titanic.
Correct. That is the Titanic.
He's
Didn't
good,
even
isn't
let
he?
me finish
He's
the
really
question.
He is good. I'm good. I am.
This is his best performance, mate. Don't let it kid you.
Question 4, McGinley. New Rangers signing John Lundstrom scored how many goals in the Premier League in the 2019-20 season?
Oh.
So just the 1920 season.
I did see how many goals he scored in the Premier League.
Yeah, you.
Is it 6?
7, no?
It's 5.
5 in the
actually
first season,
5,
must have been 1 in the
5.
second.
Yeah,
6.
There you go.
But he remembered.
There you go. So you have a
Selective
chance to.
listening.
You have a chance here to secure the win.
Nice.
The dub on your return. Here's your question: which Scottish Women's Premier League 2 side
Oh, I know this.
clinched
So do I.
promotion?
Hamilton.
Is correct. Hamilton is a correct
Surprise,
answer.
surprise, the king is back, baby.
There you
Woo!
go. Well,
I thought
We're
it
not
was
getting a wee
Aberdeen.
drum roll or something.
well, there you go.
I
Well
think
done.
Aberdeen too.
5
Is it not
out of
Aberdeen?
5.
Did they not get given the trophy?
Which SWPL 2 side clinched promotion to the women's top flight with a 3-0 win over Kilmarnock
It was
at
Hamilton,
the
mate.
weekend? It was Hamilton.
But it was Aberdeen that won the league, though, eh?
Technical.
Yeah,
But that
the question
wasn't
was
the
clinched
question.
promotion.
Listen to the
It
question.
could have been Aberdeen.
But it wasn't Aberdeen.
No, because they didn't beat
They didn't
Kilmarnock
beat
3-0
Kilmarnock
at the weekend.
3-0 at the weekend. So,
Sorry, I didn't hear the
McGinley, your last question would have been: according to research in 2019, Scotland had the highest percentage of population attending top-flight football matches in Europe. But what was the percentage to the 0.05 decimal?
That question is so out of sync with the rest of them.
No, Norwich. What was that? Lundstrom.
Would you like to take a guess? anyway?
Decimal points. It's
Would
like
you- would you
it's
like
like
to-
a textbook.
would
Is
you
it
like-
not like
third year.
2 point something?
No.
3 point something?
No.
Less than that?
Yes.
A lot less than that?
Yes.
Alright, okay. 0.2.
0.29%. That was the correct answer. Right, but the question is: would you like to put your win on the line for a chance
Oh, to win?
of glory?
To win what?
Just glory. McGinley is there, and there is a big chance. Would you like to put it on the line with the tiebreaker question?
No.
Well, that was
Sorry, I'll take my win.
that was short.
What's happened? The mics have went off.
The mics haven't been off. Mate.
I can't hear. Have you unplugged me? There we go.
Is that you now?
Fucking turn me off. So I don't get to do the quiz.
You've been
And you turn me off.
Well, you can put,
Auntie's making jokes I made last week. She didn't watch the fucking show.
you can put these two up against each other for the tiebreaker just for a bit of
Right,
crack.
okay,
Get
let's
Devin
see-
involved to
let's
see
see
if
I
you'll
might
see
use
it.
a calculator this week because I got it right
See,
last week.
right, how many minutes did Grant Hanley manage against Croatia before being substituted?
Oh,
Very
33.
Yeah, if he's correct, spot on.
My fucking
How
God.
good am
Not
I, by
even
the way?
playing there.
I'm unbelievably good.
Six
Mate,
out
I
of
was going to
six
say
tonight.
30 something.
Yeah, no, well done. Well done, Mr. Buick. Well done. 33. Christ, almighty.
This show just needed a bit
How many
of...
seconds?
I don't give a fuck, to be honest. I got the
No, how
question
many
right.
seconds?
Um,
I'll get it up.
So...
Fucking hell, it doesn't show you the seconds usually.
I don't know.
I got it
I
up.
don't know. 23? That's not
You're
good.
talking shit.
I can't see it.
That about does it. It's been a longer show. 115 minutes. I was about to say there. 1 hour 15 minutes.
That's because last week you wouldn't have had somebody to talk about who Dumbarton have signed this season.
Last week it was an 20, so Cam, he never watched it, so he doesn't know.
nice.
That's why I didn't watch it. It was too long.
Too long.
Oh, well, turn that fuck off.
See you after. But that about does us today. David, you've won the quiz. You've returned. How would you sum up your performance?
I thought it was sensational, to be perfectly honest.
Nice. Nice.
I mean, to get that question with Grant Hanley as well.
Yes.
Fucking, it's the Pfizer that's what's done it.
The Pfizer.
Yeah.
That's it. Div?
I got Moderna.
Yeah, see, that's the difference.
It's a poor one.
It's the Pfizer difference,
At least
baby.
it's no AstraZeneca.
I know.
That seems to be the one causing all the issues.
Fuck
I think that's the one I've got.
Oh, you're going to die.
Incoming call. Bill
Are you alright,
Gates.
pal? I know, it's scaremongering, isn't
Windows.
it?
I know. And McGinley, you made your debut, mate. How would you sum it up?
Pretty tragic, I thought.
Wow. Okay.
Jesus
Do you know?
Christ.
Oh,
I'd
mate,
like to
I
get
need to bring up, sorry, McGinley, but there was a comment in the last one. Callum, Craig, I love you, mate. I like, you know what I mean? We've got on well since I met Callum and stuff. I don't know if love's the right one there. It's getting weird.
I'll declare my love for
There was a
Callum.
comment. I love him, fuck it. The comment says that Callum looked like he'd won a competition last week because he was just sitting on the seat.
They'll say that about me because I nod my head all the time as well. I'm like Winston the dog.
Yep. Fearless fucking spring.
Oh yes,
Winston the dog.
Yes.
that's the name of it. Winston Churchill.
Oh no, it's Churchill.
It's just Churchill.
It's just Churchill. Winston. Wow. Didn't even notice that till you say
Wow.
Dick the dog.
that.
Get done for that.
Is that not what that referee get done for? 4 years ago.
Did he?
Who wee Willie?
Who was
No,
that?
the one in the Premier League.
What?
Oh, so he did.
What did Dick
Mate,
Dunk?
Right, if you had to pick an English Premier League ref,
Aye.
but it was Lee Mason. He looks like a horny bugger.
Mark Clattenburg.
Mark Battenberg.
Aye.
He got done for being racist.
Howard Webb, and then they covered it up by saying he retired.
Took his Man United top off.
What a referee. What a service he gave. Right, okay.
So Alex's right hand man for so many years.
Winston the Doug in the comments if you've made it right to the end.
Yeah.
Winston the Dog in the comments.
So see, spam Winston. That's a good
Well,
idea.
spam Winston
Is that
the
going to
Doug.
become the official mascot of TSF?
That was
just Winston.
maybe that was who Eddie Howe was going to bring in.
Winston the Doug.
Aye,
Winston
'cause
the Doug.
he's a big Churchill
He's
man.
got a statue of Winston Churchill.
Good.
He just guards it. He just guards it.
There's that camera away. So we
Better
better
away. We'll end up with me and Ryan.
We better end off the show. Ladies and gents, thanks very much for watching this week's show on Talk Scottish Football. We will be back with more content, of course, over the next few weeks in the build up to the start of the 2021-22 campaign. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram and all the relevant social channels. Subscribe and hit like below as well. And we'll see you all next time.